Well, the warm and bright summer days can be alluring and a little bit confusing, especially when it comes to our elderly and keeping them safe.
That is true, and we need to always have tips in order to keep them safe, and actually a plan. And here to talk about this powerful new checklist is Bob Horman. He's the owner of Senior Helpers here in Toledo. Good morning, Bob. How are you?
Good morning. Doing well.
Good. All right, let's talk just a little bit about the statistics. It's always a hard word for me to say. Of the 5 million people that have Alzheimer's, 60% will wander and become lost. I mean, that's a large amount.
Exactly. And, you know, the number of people with Alzheimer's is growing every day. And sadly, also, of those people who do wander, if they get lost for more than 3 days, 80% of those people never make it back home. So we're trying to design an action plan that can prevent, first of all, the elderly from wandering, and then secondly, if they do get lost, just making sure that they get home safely.
Absolutely. Now let's talk about this checklist. What are the most important points on your checklist?
Well, there's really two components to it. The first piece is prevention. So just making sure that you have a plan in place in the first place, notifying local law enforcement that your elderly loved one has dementia or Alzheimer's and may be prone to wandering. That's an important first step. Also creating some lists or even installing door chimes so that you know when they're leaving the house. Those types of things. Making sure that they're never alone, really having a caregiver with them at all times is important.
And that was my next question. What if you don't have a caregiver for your loved one? How can you, if they do live alone, how can you ensure their safety?
Well, we at Senior Helpers have caregivers that are trained in Alzheimer's care and know how to keep them active and engaged so that they don't get bored and maybe start wandering in the first place. But always reach out to local family and friends as well.
And I think another important tip that I saw on the checklist was outfitting a senior with technology like a smartphone and a GPS.
Yeah, and you know, seniors sometimes struggle with technology, but if you make it as easy as possible for them, if you have a smartphone and put a folder on there that says, if I'm lost, you know, and they can just touch that and it brings up all their important information, you know, their home address, the phone numbers of emergency contacts, those types of things. There's also GPS units that you can have them wear in their pocket or in their shoe that you can track their movement and find out where they are if they are lost.
And how can people get in contact with you for more information, Bob?
Our website is just seniorhelpers.com or our phone number is 419-794-1090.
All right, Bob Horman.
Thank you very much for
Thank
joining
you.
us today. Very important stuff.